Hello and welcome to this week's qigong and mindfulness video. Not really got anything special planned. I'm just thinking that I'll just take you through a nice, gentle, flowing, mindful qigong set and then lead you through a short spell of mindfulness meditation. I may actually do a short body scan. I'll see how much time I have left. Just a few reminders. For regular viewers, you've heard this before, but it could be that this is the first video you've watched, in which case welcome. I have a number of mantras to do with my qigong, and the first thing is, if you can breathe, you can do it. Qigong can also be done, is meant to be done standing, but can be adapted to be done sitting down if for some reason your legs can't support you for the length of time, although we're only going to be standing for about 15 minutes, if that. And it's all about the breath and the body. So just before we start, I just want you to just stand or sit wherever you are. We'll get you into proper posture in a minute. Just stand or sit wherever you are and just breathe. And I want you to really be aware of your breath and try to get that sense of how muscles expand and contract as you breathe in and breathe out. And what qigong does is amplify those small movements to help move your qi, your internal energy, around. Now, your internal energy is, according to traditional Chinese medicine, stored kind of behind where my hands are now, just a bit below and behind your belly button. And that's why you will sometimes hear it said that it is the movement of the waist that is most important in qigong, because it's when you turn from the waist. Right, turning from the waist is very different to turning from the hips, which is what I'm doing now. So a turn from the waist means that your hips, knees and toes stay in nicely lined up, and the movement is literally from here. A lot of qigong places focus on your core abdominal muscles, and they're very important for a number of reasons, but the simplest way to think about it is, we all know that we need strong heart muscles because the heart is responsible for pumping blood around our body. Well, I'm now telling you that you need strong qi muscles to help move your qi around your body. And why do you need to move your qi around your body? Because in traditional Chinese medicine, all illness is seen as being due to an imbalance of your energy, not balanced yin and yang, or blockage of the energy flow. Any pain or discomfort is seen as a symptom that you're blocking off the energy flow in that particular joint. So I do not want you to do anything that causes you any pain or discomfort. You know what you can do at your maximum. I want you to work at about 70% of that. Don't worry if you've never done this before and this is your first video. Whatever you do is perfect for you, and it's not about doing it perfectly. I'll let you into a little secret. I don't do it perfectly either, because to be honest, unless you've spent years and years and years practicing this, living on your mountaintop in Tibet, no one is going to do it perfectly. But the more you practice, the better you do it, and that's what these videos are all about, helping you to practice. So, without further ado, I'd like to start by bowing in, which means if you're standing, have your feet together. If you're sitting, just sit however is comfortable for you. Bring your left hand palm up, your right hand palm down, and bow. And then get yourself into your nice stance. If you're standing, that's feet hip width apart, knees very slightly bent, core abdominal muscles engaged, back straight, neck straight, chin tucked in so that the crown of your head is pointing up at the ceiling. When you tell people to have their neck straight, most of them stretch their neck and lean their head back, which is actually very bad for you. If you're seated, still have your feet hip width apart if you can. Obviously, your knees are going to be bent ideally at about a right angle so that it's open enough to be comfortable, but don't have it closed off. A very closed joint. Can you see? That's a very closed joint there, which is going to block off the energy flow. That's okay. There's enough space to flow. Think about a pipe. Water flowing through a pipe. If you've got it clenched off like that, it's not going to flow very well. So if you're seated, sorry, I'll get back to what I was doing. If you're seated, still have your feet hip width apart. Make sure you're seated so that so that both your hip joint and your knee joint are at a 90-degree angle, certainly not an acute angle. Still get your back straight, still get your neck straight, still make sure that the top of your head is pointing up at the ceiling. Okay. So, whether you're seated or standing, just let your arms hang loose by your side or rest them on your lap if you're actually seated. And then, just for a moment, I want you to close your eyes and just breathe. Just get that sense of how your breath and your body are working together, working in unison. And then, if you're standing, make sure your weight is evenly distributed across both feet. And then I want you to imagine that you are in a beautiful lift. It's a lift that's got glass walls, maybe even a glass floor, but you feel completely safe. And from this lift you can look out over the most beautiful countryside. And as you look out over that countryside, you just feel really relaxed and calm. And then I want you to imagine that as you breathe slowly and gently, and with every out breath, I'd like you to imagine that that lift gently moves down, floor by floor by floor, until it reaches the ground. And get your hands by your side or on your lap. If they're by your side, make sure the palms are facing backwards. And then with your next in-breath, slowly allow your arms to float out in front of you. And then as you breathe out, just allow them to gently sink all the way down. We'll do this move twice more, breathing in, letting your arms float up in front of you. As you breathe out, just let them slowly sink all the way back down. And then last time for this move, as you breathe out, the bottom just relax and let go. Now move 2 is all about your chest. So this time, with the in-breath, allow your arms to float up as you did before. But then being aware of the expansion of your chest and lungs, allow your arms to also expand outwards. And then as you breathe out, everything just floats back in and back down. If you don't have enough breath to make this movement very big, small is beautiful in qigong. Do this move twice more. As you breathe out, just everything relax and let go. And then with your next in-breath, can you let your arms float up? Get them as high as you can. If you can get your arms up there, fine, but don't hunch your shoulders. Can you imagine that you're holding a ball of energy between your hands? Now as you breathe out, I want you to sink, transfer your weight slightly to the left and sink slightly on your left side as you allow your right arm to uncurl. And as you breathe in, everything comes back up. If you're seated, you can imagine that you transfer the weight to the side or just raise the heel on the same side as the arm is uncurling. So if you're uncurling your right arm, raise your right heel. We'll do this move twice more. As you breathe in, your hands meet at the top. Then as you breathe out, turn your palms outwards and let your arms slowly sweep all the way down. As you breathe in, let them rise up as high as you're comfortable with. Then with the out breath, they sweep down again. Now, if you can make a nice big circle with your hands without hunching your shoulders, that's absolutely fine. But if your breath and your body will only allow you to make a small circle like this, that's equally fine. Just do what works for you. Just move twice more, breathe in, let your arms float up. Breathe out, let them float all the way down, and then last time for this move. And this time as you breathe out, can you bring your hands into position just in front of your tummy? Then as you breathe in, can you imagine that you're feeling around a small ball, and as you breathe out, imagine you push that ball underwater. Keep this move very small, be careful to take your hands no higher than your heart. Then we'll do this move twice more. Breathe in, smooth around that ball, breathe out and imagine you push it underwater, and then breathe in, smooth around the ball, and then this time can you bring your hands to rest in front of your belly button? Your hands one on top of the other, like as I'm demonstrating. And just for a few breaths, can you just stand very still and very calm, just breathe. Just get that sense of everything settling back to where it should be. And then when you're ready, bring your feet together and we'll bow out as we bowed in. And then I'd like to invite you to get yourself into position, ready for a meditation. Yes, I've now got a walking stick, sadly, not to worry. Okay, so get yourself seated for a meditation. Turn off your phone if you haven't already. Just make sure that you're not going to be disturbed. Don't care whether you sit or stand or lie, just get yourself somewhere where you're comfortable. And I want you to get yourself comfortable. If you're seated, then try to still have that good posture that I encouraged you to have during the qigong set. So if you're, obviously I'm on a stool, so I can't lean back. If you're in a chair, try to bring your back away from the chair. Because this is a mindfulness meditation, and although mindfulness is very relaxing, it's actually all about becoming aware. And actually, it's sometimes called falling awake, total opposite to falling asleep, although it is actually very relaxing. So, once you've got yourself into a position that's comfortable for you, I don't really care what your posture is. I want you to, just for a few breaths, I want you to really be aware of all the sounds that you can hear. There's a sound of my voice. For me, there's a clock ticking. There's a window cleaner cleaning my windows. There's traffic from outside. There may be cats making a sound somewhere. Those are my sounds. I just want you to be aware of all the sounds that you can hear. And I just want you to allow those sounds to reach your ears without trying to identify or classify or decide if they're good sounds or bad sounds. I just want you to be aware of the sensations reaching your ears in this moment. And maybe notice how the sounds will change. And now I want you to move your awareness further in so that you become very aware of your body. Be aware of the posture that your body's in. Be aware of anything that's touching your body. If something's going to be touching it, your clothes, the stool, the cushion, the floor, maybe a blanket, there's going to be something touching your body. What can you feel? Again, let go of the natural tendency to classify or identify. Just experience what you experience fully. Be fully aware of everything that you can feel, whether it's on the surface of your body right here, right now. Then I want you to move your awareness still further in and to become very aware of your breathing. Don't change your breath, just breathe completely normally. But can you notice everything that you notice when you breathe? What sensations do you have? When you breathe in, where is the first place where you're aware that the in-breath is starting? When you breathe out, where does that start from? Which part of your body? Where do you have the sensation? I don't want you to worry that you could be doing it wrong. Whatever you're noticing is perfect for you, and mindfulness is not a competitive sport. So let go of any thoughts about whether other people are doing it better than you. Well, however you're doing it is perfect for you. Because mindfulness, we aren't trying to change anything. We're just trying to notice what is, what's happening right here, right now. Problem is, our minds like to think about other things. They like to worry about something that's going to be happening in the future, or remember something that happened in the past. And those thoughts can be accompanied by feelings that are not good. Now, if you notice, become aware that your thoughts have drifted away from your awareness of your breath, that's natural. Minds are meant to think, that's what they do. So if you notice your mind has wandered away, I don't want you to start telling yourself that you're really no good at this mindfulness lark. I want you to congratulate yourself for noticing what your mind is doing. And then I want you to gently lead your mind back to just noticing your breath. Because whatever else may be going on or has gone on or is due to go on, the only thing that matters right here, right now, is just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. And however many times you need to lead your mind back, that's fine. Just as many times as your mind wants to wander off, just as many times gently lead it back. Because when you notice what your mind is doing, when you notice it's wandered away, you are succeeding in being mindful. And when you lead your mind back to your breath, you are succeeding in being mindful. So, what do you notice about your breath? Where's the first place that you can feel it? When you breathe in, what sensation are you aware of? What's the first thing you notice? When you breathe out, what do you feel? Is each breath the same? Probably not. What sensations do you have as you breathe? There can be so many. There's air moving in and out of your nose, down your throat. There are muscles moving in your chest, in your tummy, in your back, maybe even in your throat. So much movement. Can you maybe try and follow that movement so that as you breathe in, you follow that breath all the way in and then follow it again all the way out? If you can't, don't worry. If there's something I've mentioned that you don't notice, just register a blank. I just want you to notice what you notice. Maybe let your mind for a moment rest with whatever part of your breath comes most strongly to your attention, whatever that is. But whatever you noticed, chances are there's movement involved in it. And so now I'd like to invite you to become aware, if you can, of that brief moment of stillness in between each breath. Because in between each in-breath and out-breath, just for a moment, everything is still. Be curious as to whether you can notice that moment of stillness. Don't hold your breath, but can you just notice that moment of stillness as it naturally happens? How do you feel to be within that moment of stillness? Now, in our busy modern world, stillness is something that can be very hard to find. But you can use your breath as an anchor to help you find that moment of stillness anytime you need it, because that moment of stillness happens hundreds of times every day. So anytime you need to find that stillness, all you need to do is just center your awareness onto your breath. That's not that hard to do, is it? Think of your breath and your awareness of your breath as an anchor to help anchor you into that stillness. That stillness that you can need when you're trying to think about too many things, or when something's happening that's making you feel not so good. Just find that stillness, and in that stillness you can calm your mind and keep your body still. Think of your awareness of that stillness as a maintenance stop or a refueling stop. Because if a car is just kept running, never maintained, never stopped to go to the garage for maintenance, never stops to fill up, it's soon going to stop running. Well, we're just the same. We need to stop, otherwise we'll break down. I think of your awareness of your breath as your moment to give yourself a short break for maintenance, a short break to refuel. And it's something that's available to you anytime you need it. Now, I'd like you to let your awareness start to move outwards again. So become aware of your body. And then become aware of where your body is in the room. Become aware of the room and the sounds both inside and outside the room. And then bring yourself back to normal awareness, opening your eyes if they were closed. But before you dash off, just put this thought in the front of your mind that actually, if you need to, you can take this good feeling and recall this good feeling anytime you need to, simply by focusing your awareness onto your breath. Please do make sure that you're fully back into normal awareness before you go and try and do anything. I didn't do a body scan, obviously. Maybe I can do that next week. If you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to pass it on to someone else that you think might benefit. I do them every week. They are free. But if you would like a little bit more video time with me, then please pop on over to my Patreon page. The link is given at the top of this Crystal Wolf Holistic Care, Crystal Wolf Qigong and Mindfulness page. Pop on over to my Patreon page and consider sponsoring me. Sponsors get an extra half hour of video time with me each week. I also have a YouTube channel where I put lots of different videos. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If there's something you'd like me to go over in next week's video, you know how to contact me. And all feedback is welcome. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Namaste.